They drank rainwater from their hair. That's how four surfers survived, lost at sea for 36 hours. Fellow Aussie Grant Richo Richardson used his gut instincts to find them. I just spoke to him. Richo, mate, I know you hate hearing this and you'll disagree, but without you, this probably would have ended very differently. You must have had every emotion these past few days.
Yeah, look, Ali, it's been an insane few days, and we can't even imagine what those guys went through in the water, what they were thinking.
How did you even know where to look?
Yeah, look, I had to make that decision myself, Ali. It was hard, but obviously we took local knowledge into play. I knew the currents, and then we just had to, I guess, bite the bullet and hope that our gut feeling was right.
Richo, I'm just thinking about the enormity of that decision that you made in saying, let's look here, because we're talking about tiny specks in a very vast ocean. How confident were you that you would find them in time?
We couldn't drop our guard, Ali. You know, and we weren't going to turn around and come back until we'd found them or something. It's an incredible place around here, the amount of current and the tidal streams, and to be in the area the next morning, the only thing that went through my mind was we literally drove past these guys last night. You know, we knew that we were taking a risk going out at night, but to almost think that we maybe drove past them and then the next morning were right back in the same place almost to find them was, it was bone chilling.
What was your reaction when you heard that they'd found them, but Elliot wasn't there?
Yeah, look, it was heart-wrenching. The 3 hours in between rescuing these guys and not knowing where Elliot was a real gamble. I never knew, I didn't know Elliot, but now I do know it. The guy's a machine. You know, if there was anyone out of that group that was actually going to make it to land, it was him. And, you know, he put his all into it. To listen to his story, God, it's chilling. He paddled his ass off, mate, and, you know, he's got the war wounds to show for it, you know, and his girlfriend, Steph, how she came out of the water in such good spirits was just a goddamn miracle. And, you know, she was actually the one that was incredibly elated then to find out that it hadn't been, you know, rescued. We just seen her fall off the pinnacle then.
Can you tell me this, had that local fishing boat not picked up Elliot, would he have made it to land, do you reckon?
No. I don't think so. He even said that himself, Ali. You know, it's at a point where, you know, he probably would have just had to then do what the others did and resort to drifting. We were purely basing our area on drifting and not on the fact that these guys were so strong and kept paddling.
You know what, Richo? It's a lot, isn't it?
Right. A lot. These guys are going to have to live with this for the rest of their lives, and it's going to bond them as a group.
Did they have any food or water with them?
They were drinking water off their hair when it rained, so it was pretty lucky. But yeah, the rain actually gave them some sustenance, and they were, you know, smart enough to be saying, guys, we just need to keep drinking as much as we can while it's raining. Just take all the water. They had, you know, anything they could collect water on or even off their hair, just suck it off their hair into their mouths. It was incredible. And that smart thinking actually saved the lives of the other two Indonesians on board. You know, the sad part about this mission was that, you know, there's still one person missing.
Is it now considered that he is gone? It's been around 90 hours. I was going to ask you, do you think there's any chance of him being rescued?
Yeah, look, my professional opinion, Ali, would be that I'd say it's a recovery now. If he is recovered, it's a miracle.
You mentioned how they had to think fast and move fast when the boat started to sink. What actually happened?
They got hit on the side of the boat a couple of times by waves. The boat started to flood. They were smart enough to say, okay, guys, quick, let's start getting some gear together in case we do end up in the water. They grabbed surfboards, they grabbed wetsuits, rash tops. They were smart thinkers. A lot of people in that situation don't think on their feet. and just it could have been such a different outcome.
I mean, Richard, can you actually believe it? You found them. They're safe.
It was, everyone just needed to cry, hug, let it out, and have a few drinks to sort of soften the pain, I think. But I actually just spoke to the guys before the interview, and I think they're all ready to go home.
I know you say, Richo, it was a group effort, and it definitely was, but from the surfers, and I know their families, they're just so grateful that you're there. You're a legend. Thank you.
Cheers, Ali. We're no heroes, mate.
Yeah, Richo, and everyone involved.